Welcome, Aries. This is your June reading for 2023. Can't believe we're already in June. Man. Aries, what I've been channeling for you guys, like the moment I was, getting into your energy, meditating a little bit, but I didn't even need to tune in that deeply. I was just like, songs came true, lyrics came true, and I just really feel that there's someone in your surrounding. This could also just be a part of yourself, but for a lot of you, I feel like there's someone in your surrounding that really expresses themselves. They're all of your strength. It's almost like sometimes people go through things and stuff, and then you can see that they win through things, and it's almost like people look in awe. It's like you've been through all these things and you're just so strong and still open and excited, and obviously that's also your cardinal energy. Like you still have motivation, you still are going, you're still growing, and they're just in awe in a sense of like, I want to get to know like the story behind it. Like you almost are intrigued in what it is that you went through, what it is that gets you up in the morning, and just overall they're feeling a level of inspiration and just admiration for you. So this could also be like what I said as well. It's like could be a part of you. You're almost like looking back at your past, like full circles. What I'm hearing for some of you, you just turned, like for example 40 or 50, like a milestone in your life where you kind of sort of look back and think about the first 10 years, first 20 years of your life, and just in awe. It's like, whoa, I did that and I did that and overcame that. Like, I've been like at peace for a little bit, a couple of years, but looking back on how much I used to do and what I've overcome, I'm actually really proud of myself. It's almost like you're looking into like an old part of yourself. It's just a lot of growth and a lot of energetic changes, what I'm sensing for you guys. So on the 4th of June, so that's a Sunday, we have a full moon in Sagittarius, which is a fellow fire sign. So we have a fire moon. And that's right up in your ninth house. So if you're an Aries rising, it's your ninth house. So there might be a completion on something. For some of you, you may have traveled and lost some luggage, and you may, seem to, like it seemed to appear, or you get a message about it. For some of you, you're trying to have a claim with far distance travel with someone overseas. Like you might have put some insurance claim in, you got some answers on that, like something like that's what I'm sensing. Like it is long distance. It was kind of somewhere where you used to be, like I said, maybe you went on vacation and it's like quite far away, and now you are here back at home, or vice versa. Maybe you are actually planning on long-term travel, and there's something, a completion around that. So for some of you, it also has to do with education, with deeper level of knowledge and higher learning. It's like you're completing something, or you're deciding that a phase of your life, you want it to come to an end, and you kind of are maybe at a crossroad of your life where, okay, what is my next thing? What is the next chapter? What is the next stage? And just focusing on, if you focus on 20 years from now, what would you, what type of advice would you give the here and now present sense of self? Like 20 years from now, what may or may not would you have wished that you would have tried, or look into, or maybe start? Like, for example, maybe you guys really want to start a certain level of education in whatever age range you are in, because you're never too old to learn or go back to school. Honestly, I have many people around me who went back to school in their 60s, and for the last 7 years that they had to, work before retirement, like, did this whole other thing. I've known people who are still in school, and they went back in their 30s, and now they're almost in their 50s, and they're still learning and still going. And it has nothing to do with age. Okay, I just wanted to let you guys know that. Maybe you really would love to get a master, or just in overall just get a degree in something, and maybe you feel like, yeah, but it's going to take me like 3 up to 4 years, which is like so much. But if you then add 16 years, then you've already been graduating for 16 years. You add, on top of those 4, so 20 years from now, and you've already been then practicing that practice basically for 16 years. It's like, if you then look back at those 4 years that right now are in front of you instead of behind you, this is a matter of perspective. So I feel that there's this ability to maybe have conversations this month with people who are the you in 20 years, who were where you are right now, or, where they were like 20 years ago. And maybe through conversations, through connecting with community, through being inspired, through also expressing your story and people expressing, their ideas about that. And it just lightened something within you. Because I kept hearing, also, light my fire, light my fire, light my fire. So I don't know. There might be someone coming in your life that lights your fire in all kinds of ways. I'm just saying. But there's such a beautiful alignment with your 9th house, your 3rd house, your 5th house. It's just all about, how does it make you feel? What are your aspirations? What are your dreams? Who inspires you? What inspires you? Communication with like-minded people, and just enlighten something within you. So that's really what I'm feeling for June. Don't feel like you have to make all the heavy decisions in June, but be open, explore. Have those conversations. Take that time to try something new. Take time for yourself this month to explore, to allow and enlighten your inner child within you. And with the Judgment card here as well, it's like really strong feeling of like, okay, you went through it. You did that, Aries. Now you may need some rest, you may need some time for healing, but you are definitely walking into a new stage in life. It's time for something new, for a new approach. And I'm sensing that very strongly. So let's just get some cards out on the table. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, we have the Hierophant is here as well. Justice. It's all those cards of like ending, new beginning, completion. Beautiful. The Star card is here, 2 of Wands, and we have the 3 of Cups. So all of that is kind of coming together. What I just said is like, it's coming together in these 6 cards already. It says like, all right, looking into and creating space in your life to being able to balancing out the scales and having a recommitment. It's almost like you're committing to something else. You're still committed, but in a new form, in a new way, to something new. And it has a lot to do with your true nature, something that just comes natural to you. For example, some people are lawyers. They're born lawyers. They don't care. They do almost all cases pro bono. They don't care about the money. It's just this natural urge to just make things right that are supposed to be right, and show up for people and do that. And that's where they get all their emotional fulfillment from. And money flows in that space as well, but that's not their first main goal. It's just like they cannot look at injustice and know that they have the ability to help and then not to help. Obviously, there need to be healthy boundaries there as well. But I'm just saying, it's just this thing, that's this natural connection, this fulfillment, this emotional connection that brings about fulfillment, that makes you feel that you don't have to take steps away from your true authentic self in order to practice it, in order to be that, in order to show up in a world. There are always ways to live a more authentic life. A life that doesn't drain you, a life that doesn't stress you out all the time. Sometimes we have to let go of something we think we want and need. Yes, we do. Sometimes it does result in like letting go of something that maybe we feel that we can live without, but that's why we're capable of going on and on and on and draining ourselves, because we feel we're doing it for something that we tell ourselves we cannot live without. When that by itself is the only thing that keeps you in that state, that keeps you away from emotional fulfillment, that keeps you away from happiness, that keeps you away from community as well. It's like you're re-looking at, with the Two of Wands, it's like doing research, like, how do I want to show up in this world? Who do I want people to see? And it's not about the other people, it's about yourself. Because when you show up in a certain way in life for yourself, and you're stepping into your true nature, that's the way you were designed for a reason. And a lot of times that's what scares us the most, because that's part of the lesson of stepping out. People will reflect their uniqueness and their realness back to you. And some people, you know, they are really just people, you know, people's people, a people's person. They don't care what type of communication, whatever. They just love connecting, all of that. And I have a lot of people who are very introverts, but actually, when they get around people who are like-minded, who they know for some time, who they connect with, who know them, they just are all of a sudden the life of the party because they feel comfortable. And so, is it then true that you are an introvert? I don't, you know, it's like things to think about. It's like maybe there's something you believe about yourself that you kind of been going on. It's like, you know, if I work, I have to work from home because I can be around people. It's like maybe there's a middle way there. Maybe that isn't even really completely fully the truth. Maybe you feel like I just kind of want to isolate. I just want to be alone. That's how I recharge. That's how I relax. But maybe you would thrive in like more of like a community way of living. For example, right? That's not for everybody, obviously. But it's like if you're a city girl or a city guy and you're like, I've always been a city girl. You can't take me out of the city. I can't function in nature. Like I need city, I need people, I need lights and music and things happening all the time. But maybe that's not even really what the truth. Maybe that's just what we believe to be because that's all we know. It enlightens something within us. That part is really overly developed. We know how to thrive and survive in the jungle. But maybe you are living on a form of surviving mechanisms. You're trying to thrive and survive in surviving mode. And that makes you feel like you've got a handle on things. Because when we're in survival mode, we're already hyper-focused. Right? And we feel like, but at the same time, it's really depleting our energy as well. Because we don't hardly really recharge. Because we can't relax. Because when we relax, kind of everything comes down. A lot of people, right? They work like 40 up to 70 hours a week. Going. They go on vacation, they get sick. They're like, I'm always sick on vacation. You see, vacation ain't good for me. Not completely true. It's just your body. Oh, we're relaxing now. I had some things stored up. Like, can I then just really like renew some cells over here? Build up your immunity system? Thank you. All right. What we have here, the Lovers, beautiful. Gemini season, Knight of Wands, Five of Wands, Page of Cups. So that's the thing. It's like, it's that connection and communication and making decisions based on that connection. It's like your masculine and your feminine come together. There's no dominating one or the over the other at the moment. Well, that's what you're working towards. It's also like you approach things from a different space. You're not trying to convince anybody that you are just as good or better than. It's like, no. I approach myself from a place of kindness. If somebody can meet me there, then that's already an established connection in a healthy space. But I'm feeling for some of you are struggling a little bit. There's this thing about competition that you just like a little bit too much. Okay, for some of you, Nicole, just like it a little bit too much. I get it. You're an Aries after all, but at the same time, as long as it's in a healthy balance, because with the Five of Wands, I'm not that worried. When we hitting the Five of Swords, a different story. But I do have a Ten of Swords. So once again, like I said, a completion. For some of you, you went through you have a history of bullying. And with that, I mean people picking on you. In whatever way, shape, or form. Even if other people might look at it like, yeah, well, that was kindergarten. It's not that big of a deal. But it can sometimes leave a trace. It can sometimes close something within us. And it's really hard to open it up without conscious work and healing. And sometimes we are still coming from that space. This is a time in our lives, especially astrologically, sorry, that word. When it comes to the planets, they just get to triggering at the moment. They just know exactly how to put someone in your path, some image, something, some message to just take you right back there and make you aware of that feeling. It's still there. Not there to haunt you forever, but it's like we're making you aware because we want you to really let go of these swords, really let go of these coping mechanisms that come from there. And sometimes we feel like we're opening up a closet where we have all this stuff in, and it's like the doors are closed so it looks nicely. You open it up, stuff comes out. You feel like, yeah, why make more of a mess? It doesn't really seem logically. But in the end of the day, there's nothing better than to open up a closet and everything is organized and just in place and there's no clutter and, you know, we took things out that are no longer serving us in any way, shape, or form. Good. With that Eight of Pentacles, you got no competition, Aries. You got no competition. And we have the King of Swords. It's like you're working, there's a lot of masculine energy healing. That's something I already felt in your energy before I started reading. It's like you are disappointed about something. Someone disappointed you. You expected something from a situation. It didn't pan out completely the way that you wish it would to be. But it's a redirection. It's not a rejection. But from the place that you are standing and looking at it, it's more than normal. They might experience it in that way because there are some things hidden behind the surface that down the line you figure out and think, oh, that's why it didn't work out. Because I wasn't supposed to go that direction. I was supposed to go here. And I could see that from that point of view. That's how you're going to feel. All right. One more card for Aries, please. Whew. And it jumped right down. That's a lot of cards, so I'm just going to take this. Ace of Pentacles. You see, that's the thing. Universe has a little bit of a trick up its sleeves when it comes to bringing you where you need to be, where you deserve to be. So you're gonna have to have a little bit of faith in that. I'm not sensing it's gonna be very long term, but faith is necessary. Don't take it personal. Sometimes we take things really personal because we're hypersensitive at that moment. Not saying we're too emotional. Sometimes we're just really hypersensitive. So we have a phase where maybe we have very low self-worth and value. And then when something doesn't work, we feel like it's an affirmation of how we really feel inside. But don't take it too personal because it's personally designed for you. Look at that, prosperity. You have abundant energy, prosperity. It says the universe is pouring its abundance onto you. Be open to receive. Be open to receive. Ooh, look at that. 2 cards after each other saying, we got something better coming for you, Aries. There's something better on its way. All right. Let me see. We already have Mars in Leo, and then on June, I believe June 5th, it's going to move. Venus is also going to move in Leo. So you're dealing with 5th house energy. So be creative. Be spontaneous. Allow that Page of Cups energy to come through. Try out things that maybe, you haven't tried before. Also people. Okay? Different type of people. You might find yourself in a little romance if you are single that you didn't expect actually would be for you, but actually it kind of brings about all these healthy, loving qualities of you. So allow your feminine to come forward, regardless if you are whatever gender you identify as. Allow your feminine to show herself, because that's the way that you will feel creative and inspired and energetic through your feminine. And no, that doesn't mean you have to dress feminine and all of that. It's about allowing that energy to come forward. Not feeling like you have to approach in a form of protection. All right, Aries? I feel like it's going to be a good month for you guys. I'm just saying. Okay, well, thank you so much for your presence here. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, have a beautiful month of June. I'll be back soon, Aries. I love you. Mwah. Bye.